Welcome to Inspired Conversations, Living the Legacy with Legends. My name is Onkarabile Wisdom Mukoto and I am your host. Many girls in South Africa are affected by a lot of issues such as rape, gender equality, unemployment, and sexual abuse. In my show today, I have a woman who is full of passion to empower and develop women and young girls. Lesego, welcome to the show and you are very welcome.
Thank you, Nkarabile.
Yes. Let's just start from the beginning and introduce yourself to our viewers. Who is Lesego Mathye?
Okay, Lesego Mathye is a young lady all the way from the rural areas of Polokwane in Limpopo. I went to primary there, went to high school in a boarding school, and from boarding school I went to UJ to study social work.
Okay.
Then after studying social work, I got my first job at the Gauteng Central Mental Health. Then I worked there for 5 months. Then I worked for the Department of Social Development, where I'm currently working at the moment. Lesego Mathye is a lady who's passionate about helping people. It's a lady who's passionate about changing our society. I mean, we see a lot of things are happening, and I believe that when you see something and you don't like it, it means you have to solve it. I remember this other time I was listening to Dr. Myers. Dr. Myers says, if there's something that makes you angry and you know that it only makes you angry, that is your purpose, that is your vision. It means you have to solve it. You have to come up with a solution for it. So I'm a lady who's always up for challenges. I'm shy, but then when an opportunity comes, I'm that lady who grabs it and say, you know what, maybe I'm going to learn something out of this opportunity. Maybe there's something that I'm going to come out with. So, yes, I'm that lady.
That's who you are. Now, I mean, you spoke about Dr. Miles Monroe, and you said that he says if there's something that makes you angry, then you must know that your purpose must come out of that. So, I mean, what makes you angry that actually arose that purpose?
What makes me angry? Wow, there's a lot of things. But for now, what makes me angry is how men treat women and children. You know, I mean, every day when you watch the TV, when you watch news, it's always about men abusing women. There's rape, sexual abuse, molestation. All these things, they make me angry.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think that's where Significant Teen Girls was born. I understand that there is a project that you are actually involved in.
Yeah, there's a project at church that I'm actually involved in, but it was not necessarily born out of the anger and the sexual abuse.
Okay.
Yes, it was something that I thought maybe it is lacking in our church, because we have a ministry for fathers and sons. We also have a ministry for women. So there was no one taking care of a girl child. So I thought, okay, because this ministry for women is only for 18 years upwards. So I was thinking, okay, what about children who are under the age of 18? And we all know that teenagers go through a lot. I mean, the teenagehood is where you have to, you're confused, you don't know who you are. The world is telling you that you should be like this, you should behave like this, and the church is telling you that you should be like this. So now we're confused. And then the roles as well, you become confused. Who am I also in a society? Who am I, Gabon, and who am I in a society as well? So I thought maybe I should start that project where I coach and mentor our teenage girls spiritually, also academically, and also help them to develop themselves personally, and also discover their talents and gifts as well, and how can they use it for the glory of God. And also answer their questions, because they have a lot of questions, young teenagers, dating and all that. How do we do it? So, yeah.
But up to so far, how has been the process?
So far, the process has been okay. It is still growing. I'm still involved with girls from our church, but I would like other girls also from the community to know about this ministry, to join us as well, so that they can learn. Also.
Now, let's talk about the course that you're doing, the social work, because somehow I think is very relevant to what you're doing. Now, did you do the course, or rather, let me say this ministry of girls, did you discover it after you did the course, or you did the course then you said, oh, since I'm a social worker, let me do this? Or what happened to this?
Okay, this ministry, I discovered it after my ordeal. In 2014, I encountered one of the things that makes me angry. I'm a rape survivor, so after that, I don't know, it didn't come out of me being a social worker. I think it came out of me being a Christian, more like.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I feel like I made a lot of mistakes when I was dating, and those mistakes, when I got raped, it's like it caused a lot of confusion in my relationship, because now I wanted to change and I wanted to do things the other way around. So I thought to myself, maybe if I could have stuck to my values and my standards, I could have known exactly who am I, especially as a sexual being and as a Christian girl as well.
Okay, so I don't get you very clear. So are you blaming yourself for what you went through?
No, I'm not blaming myself. I'm just saying that, okay, when I was in a relationship, I was involved in things that as a Christian you're not supposed to involve in. So after the ordeal, after what happened, now I wanted to change and live for God.
Okay.
So now this whole thing was causing a confusion in who exactly. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So is actually that experience is the one that actually, or one of the cause rather, that pushed you to have that zeal to actually help other girls, other teenage girls.
Yes, and also to give them an environment where they are free to talk about anything, because I know for this kind of situations, when they happen, most of us, we are ashamed to talk about it. It's not easy. It is embarrassing. It is something, you feel like when you talk about it, people will judge you. So, yeah, I wanted to give young girls that environment where they feel free to talk about anything and to ask any questions.
Okay. Now, before, I want to ask about Miss Grace, because they say like attract like. So I think Miss Grace came at the right time. Based on your ministry, on your project, because I think it was kind of the same with what you are doing. But before we speak about Miss Grace, I just want to speak more about this one, the situation that you went through. It's one of the most, many girls actually, and lady and women are experiencing that. And some of them, it's very hard to get healed from that. So as Lesego, how did you get healed from that? You are still standing today, look at you, you are beautiful, you are working a very good job. You are a coach, certified speaker, coach and trainer. How did you get healed from that experience?
Yeah, it was not easy, because I lost a lot, hey. I even lost my character as well. I lost relationships. It was not easy at all. I think getting closer to God and going to a therapist. But I went to a therapist after things have gone wrong. In 2017, that's when I decided to go to a therapist. That was after a lot of things has already happened, the depression, the trauma. It was after I've lost a lot of things. Then that's when I was decided, to go to a therapist and get yourself back together. Okay. Rebuild yourself, rebuild your character, and get healing from this. Because if you don't heal from this, it will prolong, and you won't achieve the things that you always wanted to achieve. You'll always stay in a state of being a victim, but you're not a victim, you're a survivor. You survived for a reason. You could have you could have died that day, because many women, they get raped and they get killed immediately after that. It could have been you, but God saved you for a reason and for a purpose. So now you need to sit down and ask God, what is the purpose for all of this? And you also have to understand that just because you're a Christian or you are beautiful or you have a degree, you're not immune to things like this. It can happen to anyone. It can happen even to a pastor's child. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
But now you need to find out, why did it happen? Don't say why me.
Yeah.
Find out, okay, God, where to from here?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with this story?
Exactly.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
Then God will answer.
Oh, that's a very powerful. Now, before you rebuild your life, you said you have lost a lot of things. And I mean, I have read and listened to many rape survivors, and they will say a similar thing that you're saying, that, rape, you lose a lot of things, But what are the things that you actually lose when you are raped as a lady? What are the things that you actually lose?
I think you lose yourself. You lose your sense of security. It depends where it happened, I guess. In my case, it happened at home. It was a housebreaking. So I lost that sense of security, because I thought, in a house, I'm safe. I thought this thing only happens outside
yeah.
when you are in parties and all that.
Yes.
Didn't think it can happen in the house. You lose yourself, because if you don't deal with it, you end up being depressed. You are always sad, and you are never a sad person. You are always a person who's happy. So in a way, it's like you lose who you are, your identity. If you used to be bubbly, you used to go out, now you want to isolate yourself because you are ashamed of what will people say, and you don't want to hang around with people that know what happened to you, because you just wonder. So, and like I said, you lose yourself. So if this happened while you were in a relationship, the person that you are with will end up saying, I don't know this person.
Exactly.
Maybe this is the true you.
Yeah.
Maybe what I thought you are not that.
Yeah.
So it also changed the dynamics of the relationship, and you end up losing the relationship. And when you do lose that, you also lose your confidence as well. You're confident as well. So yeah, and when you lose the relationship, you just wonder what's going to happen with the next relationship. Yeah. So.
And then the issue of not trusting men, how does it work? Because I've heard many women saying, they even lose that trust for men. They don't longer trust men. When you are next to a man, how does it work? Did you also experience that? Yeah,
I'm still experiencing that. I'm praying for a godly man, amen. Yeah, because these days I don't trust a man in a way or he will rape me. I'm just afraid that I'll give myself to him and he'll end up leaving me, and I feel like for me that will make me feel even more raped. And I thought thinking like that is maybe it's not normal, until I've listened to TD Jakes. I think this is a sermon I preached I don't know when, but I think it was a long time ago. It was a conference, a men conference. So he was preaching about sex, money, and power, all these things that are important to men. But he was also preaching sex before marriage is a sin. And he was also saying to men, what if I tell you the wife that God gave you is a wife, she was raped, she was molested, she was sexually abused, and she's not supposed to feel like that when she's with you. She's not supposed to feel like she's being further raped, sexually abused, and molested. So sex in marriage, it brings security. And I think with me, that's where I am at this stage, where I feel like I need to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Maybe if I can find a man who will understand that, then yeah, I don't think I'll have problems. Okay. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. No, I hear you. Now, the last question before we go to Miss Grace. There is someone now, there is a teenage girl who is watching this program as we speak. And she went through what you went through. What can you say as an encouragement to that lady?
Okay, to any girl out there who's being raped and you don't know who to talk to, you don't know what to do, I just want to tell you that go out and speak to a therapist. Don't blame yourself. Don't even feel like you've been cursed. This thing, they can happen to anyone. I know that the person who raped you could have prevented it, but anyway, he chose to do it. But I want to tell you that there's healing out there, and you will also be healed. Don't feel ashamed. Speak out. Speak to your mom, speak to your sister, speak out to anyone that you trust so that you can get healing as well and move on with life, because there is healing. Healing is possible.
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, I believe that, and I mean, I think I made a mistake by saying there is a teenage girl. There can be also a teenage boy.
Exactly. It happens to boys.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah. So, but I believe the message is still the same.
Yes.
You know, I believe the message that you have uttered is still the same. So, thank you so much. Now, let's get to Miss Grace SA 2019, where you ended up at semi-finalist.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's start just to know what is all about Miss Grace SA. Yes.
Okay, Miss Grace SA is a new beauty pageant. It was founded by a lady by the name of Shannon Webb. She lives in Cape Town. I saw the advert the first time on TV and I was like, I think I should enter this competition because it resonates with me. Miss Grace is actually a woman, like grace, the word itself, it's unfavor. Grace is
and common favor.
Yes, yeah. Common favor. Ne?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Unmerited favor from
yeah.
God. Mm-hmm. Yes, so Miss Grace is a lady who's been through a lot of challenges. It could be unemployment, it could be sexual abuse, domestic abuse, physical abuse. It could be any challenge that this lady has been through. And now this lady, through the grace of God, she came out. She got the healing, she got empowered. So now she wants to empower other ladies who are going through the same thing. She wants to tell other ladies that I've been there and this is how I got out. And I'm saying, here I am. I want to help you to also get out of this situation and rebuild yourself.
Okay.
So that's what Miss Grace is all about. It's also about challenging women to be in leadership, to be the solution to come up with solutions for the things that women come across, the challenges that we as women come across. It is about a lady who's confident in her own skin. Miss Grace is a lady who loves herself and loves others. Is a lady who wants to be a helping hand. It's a lady who sees problems in the society and says, I want to be part of the solution. It's not necessarily a lady who's tall and slender like all the other beauty pageants that we know. So Miss Grace is redefining beauty. It looks at the inner beauty of a lady, character high, and the talent and the gifts that she has and how she can use those gifts to glorify God and to empower other women.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. And I mean, I'm not going to ask what inspired you because I think you have actually covered that one.
Yes, but, I have because Miss Grace is, I think the Miss Grace is actually focusing more on gender-based violence. Miss Grace is a woman who is not afraid to speak out. To speak out for women who are being abused and children who are being abused.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, it's what actually you were doing even before you entered the competition. You were busy with that empowering women and girls.
Yes.
Yeah. That is what I'm saying. I want to ask you what inspired you. I believe that's what actually inspired you. Yeah. So I mean, you end up at semi-finalist.
Yes.
You did not win.
No, I did not win.
As you were hoping. Okay, before that, what was the prize for someone who went to
the Queen?
Yes, for the Queen.
The Queen of Grace.
Yes. The Queen of Grace.
The prize for the Queen of Grace was a prize of 100,000 rand cash.
Okay.
Yes, and other things, the bags and
Yeah, there's a lot
all,
of money.
yeah, all those accessories. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of money. Okay, although you did not end up at finalist, as a finalist, but you have learned a lot, you say.
Yeah.
What are some of the lessons that you have learned from the pageant in itself?
I've learned a lot about myself. I also learned a lot about other women that I've met throughout the competition. I've learned that there's nothing that beats teamwork, because we were given tasks as regions. That Gauteng semi-finalist, we came together to organize a campaign, a Pink Fist Up campaign. Is a one of a kind as well. It's a first campaign in South Africa. It's it's 16 days of activism. There's always campaigns happening. So it's one of those campaigns that will also happen during the 16 days of activism, where we speak out against sexual abuse and women abuse. So I've learned a lot about myself, that I'm able to take challenges, and I've also learned a lot from the stories of women that we visited, from their stories that really women are going through a lot of things. But the resilience that we have, wow, it was inspiring. Yeah. Knowing there's someone out there who's been through a lot, but then she's still standing. She's even able to speak about what she went through, her past, without crying or without anything. It shows there is healing. After everything, there is healing. Yeah. So I've also, throughout the task, I've also learned how to speak for myself, because you have to ask for sponsors, because we had to raise funds to build a safe house for women and children who are abused. So yeah, I've also learned how to negotiate, how to speak. Okay, nice. It was for a personal development. It was also to see how this beauty pageant competition work as well. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but then the fact that I enjoyed until Gifitlago Cape Town for the finals, to announce the finalists. So yeah. And
I mean, now you have the record of Miss Grace SA,
semi-finalist.
Yes, 2019 semi-finalist. It will always be there, you know.
Yeah, it will always be there.
Yeah. So next time when I introduce you, I will introduce you like in my show. I have Lesego Mathye, a former Miss SA 2019 semi-finalist. You see, so the record will always be there. So that's a very good thing. Now let's talk about your books. You are writing. You are still writing 2 books.
Yes, I'm still writing.
They are on the way. They are coming. One of them is coming this year.
Yeah, it has to.
It has to come this year. What inspired you to write? The first one you said is your personal experience. Right?
The first one, yes, is what I've went through. Yes. The first one is I'm still researching on this topic of fear, because I'm not saying I'm blaming myself for what happened. All understand me, yes. Yeah. But I realized that, like the Bible says, we should be careful of our thoughts. We should think of lovely things, pure things, and as a man thinketh, so is he. Yes, and the law of attraction as well says that whatever you attracts life. Yes, whatever that you always focus, your mind is always focused on, you'll attract it. What happened is that I believe this is what happened with me. I know that rape can happen to anyone, right? Yeah. But for me, it started with fear. I remember between 2013 and 2014, it happened in 2014 in March, but from June 2013, there were a lot of stories of women being raped and killed. And whenever you watch the news, you'll hear that a woman was raped. So that for me, it instilled fear in me. I started fearing this rape thing. Okay, before
that, didn't you say this story at MHI? You didn't?
I did.
Oh, I remember. Now I remember. Yes.
I did say, but when I was sharing it to go MHI, I didn't say it was me.
Oh yeah.
I said it was my client.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember this story. Yes.
Yeah. So I started to fear it. I will imagine it happening to me. I remember this other time I was in my office and I just cried because I just had an imagination of this thing happening to me. Yeah. Then I cried. Then I started praying God. I also started praying for women who are victims of rape and children as well. So I guess I focused more on the fear than on the faith that I can be protected.
Yeah.
Then in 2014, that's when it happened. Yeah, so my book is about fear and faith.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's the first one.
Yes, the first one.
And the second one?
The second one, I was inspired by Dr. Miles.
Okay.
Dr. Miles, yeah, the first one is for men. I know I'm a woman, but I'm writing a book for men.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you, what are you saying to us?
I'm saying you were not created to be, you don't have to be trash, because we you know the hashtag men are trash, after
that incident,
Garabo and other women as well being killed by their partners. So yeah, I'm trying to research why did God create a man? Because I believe a man was created to protect a woman. Yes, I believe that most of the problems that we have, they started with the man. Yes, we have women who have been raped, children who have been raped, even boys who have been raped, and this is a man.
Yes.
Even most of our crimes is men who commit those crimes. We have women who are pregnant, women who have kids, and a man is not there. A father is not there.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And
I'm just encouraging men to be leaders and to be responsible, to take responsibility for their actions.
You know, when you speak about responsibility, you remind me another pastor. I read his article on Facebook during this week. And he said, if you are a man and you know that you have impregnated a lady, why must you be forced to maintain? I mean, you know that is your child.
Exactly.
But you are being forced to maintain. Someone takes you to court for you to maintain. I mean, what's the use? I mean, you know it's your child. You understand? So I'm just agreeing with you when you talk about responsibility there.
Yeah, because I also engaged with different women, and they will share the stories of how they've been hurt by men. And I also have someone that I know who was involved with a man, and she got pregnant, and he left her when she was 5 months pregnant and went back to his ex. So where is the love there? I don't even think men understand what love is. And I believe that they are the ones who are supposed to understand it, because the Bible says a husband should love his wife just like Christ loved the church. So it is actually a man who's supposed to give love. But we don't see that in our men.
That's a powerful book. I think I'll be the first person to buy a copy of that
You'll
book.
be the person who will be helping me to finish the book. So
Yeah, but it's a powerful book.
You know most of the contents.
Yeah,
in the
no,
book.
it's a powerful book indeed. Even the first one, your personal experience. You know, there is nothing good or powerful than your own story. You know, I think I've said to you that during the week when we were chatting, that your story is so powerful. You know, your own story is so powerful, and it has the power to change lives. You know, I mean, you can use other people's stories. You know, but one will just be, we're going to a side saving, you know.
Yeah, like Rick Warren says in his book, The Purpose-Driven Life. He says, most of your greatest life messages, they come out of your deepest hurts.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Your most effective ministry comes out of your wounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very true. It's very
Yeah.
true. So I think you have a powerful story, and I mean, I'm just encouraging you to continue using that story, you know, to encourage other women and other girls, and even other boys, you know.
Yeah,
and
even
men.
boys as well. Yeah, and men. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've already decided that I want to talk to men through pen and paper.
So just continue with a good job that you are doing, and I mean we are behind you. You know, we are also saying, you know, viva to women empowerment and to teenage girls empowerment and development. So thank you so much, and thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and share your story and share what you are doing. It's inspiring, encouragement, and motivational story that you are coming with. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Inspired Conversations, Living the Legacy with Legends. My name is Unkarabile Wisdom Mukoto, and I'm saying to you, let's meet next time, same place on Global Conference TV. the journey continues.